Question 9, part A, show that this left-hand part of the expression is identical to the right-hand side. So I'm going to have to manipulate the left-hand side and get it to look the same as the right-hand side. So the first thing I can do is FOIL on these two brackets. So 10w times by w is 10w squared. Outside terms is going to be minus 10w. Inside terms plus 3w, and the last term minus 3. I'm going to have to do the same on this bracket. So I'm going to put the minus sign that's there, and then I'm going to remember that it's going to be take away all of these terms. So this is going to be a version of FOIL, because this means 2 minus 3w times by another 2 minus 3w. So I'm going to do FOIL again. So first is going to be 4, outside is going to be minus 6w, inside is going to be minus 6w, and last is going to be plus 9w squared. Now, I'm going to collect like terms on both parts first just to make life a bit easier. 10w squared minus 10 plus 3 is minus 7w minus 3. Keep the minus sign in the middle, keep the square bracket, and then I'm going to get 4 minus 6 is minus 12w, and plus 9w squared on the end. Now this is where I've got to be careful, because this takeaway is all three of these parts. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to times each of the parts in that second bracket by this minus first. So minus 4, and then I've got minus 12, which becomes plus 12, and then I've got minus 9 on the end. Now it's just a case of collecting like terms. 10w squared minus 9w squared is w squared. Minus 7 plus 12 is plus 5. And minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7. And I've got exactly there what they were asking me to show. Part B, use the quadratic formula to solve the equation w squared plus 5w minus 7 equals 0. So quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Remember, that's given to you in the front of the paper. A is the number in front of the squared term, so in our case 1. B is the number in front of the w, and then c is the number on the end. And remember, the minus sign goes with it. So if I fill this in, I get x equals minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 7, all divided by 2 times 1. Next step, I'm just going to work out what number's inside the square root, not the actual square root, just the number that goes inside. So I get x equals minus 5 plus or minus, I'm going to get 25 plus 28, so that's 53, and then divided by 2. At this point, I can split this into the two possible answers. So I can either have x equals minus 5 plus the square root of 53 divided by 2, or potentially x equals minus 5 minus the square root of 53 divided by 2. On the positive, I get an x value of 1.14, and on the negative, I get an x value of minus 6.14.